I used to visit death-themed subreddits like Watch People Die and Morbid Curiosity very regularly. I don't know why, but I've always been drawn to that kind of stuff. You know, horror movies, real-life stories, it all fascinates me. I wish I had looked away because there are some things that you just can't unsee. I remember one video in particular. A man is cut in half by a train. His legs severed, viscera scattered while he miraculously and horribly remains alive for a few minutes, waiting for death. That one really got to me. Not just the carnage inflicted on the poor man, no, but the fact that a huge group of bystanders did nothing but film him. No one offered comfort. No one held his hand. Maybe that's why, when I was faced with a similar situation, I acted how I did. I was walking back from my office building near the end of my lunch break, after getting a sandwich at a local deli. The weather was a perfect spring day. Blue sky with a light breeze and the scent of the ocean in the air. The tranquility was shattered by the screech of tires and the sound of metal and the most horrendous screams I've ever heard. I quickly saw the source. A bicyclist had been hit by a truck and was laying half crushed on the side of the street. Everyone around was in similar shock, and it was like we all took a collective moment for our brains to catch up to what we were seeing. Suddenly, with the speed of an elastic band snapping back, time moved normally again and people began calling for 911, directing traffic, clearing the scene, but no one approached the man. In that instant, I remembered the video. I knew what I had to do, and before I could think, I rushed to the victim's side. To say it was the worst thing I've ever seen is a gross understatement. The man's intestines spilling out of a gash that nearly severed him in two. One of his legs was pulp. And the smell... God, it was unfathomable. As I approached, I saw that my fear was confirmed. He was conscious. Imagine knowing you're mortally injured, aware that you are living the last moments of your life. It's not a fate I would wish on anyone. So I did what I could. I knelt by his side, careful not to look at his injuries more than necessary. His eyes were huge, with pupils blown out and the whites rolling like a wild horse's. He saw me, and stilled a little, and reached for me with his working arm. "Shh," I murmured, as I clasped his hand. "I'm here. I've got you." I didn't know what else to say in that moment. He stared at me, and his labored breathing slowed a little. "Am I going to die?" he rasped. Blood frothing in the corner of his lip. I couldn't lie. I couldn't give him false hope. We both knew the truth anyways. "Yes, but you have nothing to be scared of. You're going where we all end up, eventually. I know this isn't what you want, but you're going on a new adventure." I tried to make my words even and calm, stroking the back of his hand. After that, we were silent. Him, broken and prone on the pavement, me, his sentinel, cradling his hand in mine. The whole while I prayed for his end to come quickly. Mercifully, he passed soon after, before the sirens of the approaching ambulance could even be heard. The paramedics found me Still sitting with them, when they took over, I quickly stumbled away and threw up the sandwich I'd been eating earlier. It was the hardest thing I've ever done. Witnessing his last breath. But I knew it had been the right thing. I called into work shortly after and let my boss know what happened. He was suitably appalled and told me to take as much time as I needed. To be honest, I don't remember my commute home, or even how I got my car in the first place. I stumbled into my apartment and got right into a hot shower, clothes and all, thinking only of washing the man's blood away. When I emerged later, scrubbed pink and feeling more exhausted than I ever had in my life, I had thoughts of sleeping for a long while. I moved slowly, like cold syrup, entering my bedroom, flicking on the light. But there on my bed was a beautifully wrapped gift box. In hindsight, I should have been more worried knowing that no one had access to my apartment, but in that moment, my brain was functioning at little more than a static frequency. Puzzled, I quickly removed the shiny, ebony paper. A cold chill seemed to seep from the box as I opened it to reveal a mass of onyx fabric. Extricating it fully from the box, I held it up, revealing a long, hooded cloak the color of darkest midnight. It was then I saw the card. In delicate calligraphy, it said only 5 words. For a job well done.